Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video to recap the great Halo Wars 2 outage of 2020. If you're watching this video by now, the Halo Wars 2 servers are back online, so you can dive in and find multiplayer games just fine as you were before. But the point of this video is to really showcase all the confusion that happened from this issue, and the reason why this confusion happened, in my opinion, was because 343 did a terrible job of informing the player base of this issue. I can't tell you how many people reached out to us over the last 3 or 4 days wondering what was going on because they went out looking on Twitter and Halo Waypoint and Reddit and Discord and they couldn't find anything, so they came to us. And that really shouldn't happen. I'm really happy to share the information when I get it, but players don't need to dig around the internet to find answers for Halo. Halo should be able to broadcast these issues on their official channels, and they didn't do that here. And there's also some like really snarky comments going on from some 343 people in the Discord, which I really think is uncalled for. But nonetheless, I'm going to present you these screenshots that I grabbed from Discord and Twitter, and you can make the judgment for yourself. So the servers went down, I want to say on January 5th. It definitely was down by January 6th, but I started getting comments back on January 5th, Sunday, of people in the comment section saying this game is dead because I've been searching for 20 minutes and I can't find anything. Got some people reaching out to me on various channels. And by January 6th, I saw widespread on a lot of the places that I follow and am involved in that clearly something's wrong. And I went searching, and there was nothing about a Halo Wars 2 outage at all on the official Halo account, the official Halo support account. Nothing from Postums or Renzi or anyone you would really expect to see acknowledge this sort of an issue. So I actually reached out to them on about noonish on January 6th, and I said, we've been getting lots of folks informing us Halo Wars 2 is down and has been for quite some time. Is there any confirmation on this? And I decided to tag Halo Xbox support 343 Postums, Halo support, and 343 Renzi. So hopefully one of all of those accounts will be able to reply. And sure enough, Renzi, who is awesome by the way, replied, and he said that they're aware of this issue. It was impacting multiple titles and trying to resolve it as soon as possible. And I believe Halo 5 was impacted from this. And he says the larger issue appears to be fixed, but still working on whatever is causing Halo Wars 2 server issues. So I went ahead and retweeted that, and I said it doesn't look like it's going to be much longer. The servers should be coming back online soon. So as time went on, I didn't really see a whole lot of updates happening from anyone in the Halo community, particularly from the 343 side. I thought by now, surely at least Halo support, which, by the way, the whole point of the Halo support Twitter account is to inform players of these issues. Nonetheless, didn't see anything from that. I didn't see anything of a official thread on Halo Waypoint, which I thought would be the second place that this would happen. I didn't see anything on the Halo Wars 2 Reddit. No announcement on the Halo Discord, nothing. So I started going on the Halo Wars text channel on Discord, which, if you're not part of the Halo Discord, if you've not been banned from it, there is a channel where you can talk about just Halo Wars on this Discord. And this guy called Phoenix he was a little upset, I'll put it. And he reached out and he said, like, what is actually going on? And Sam, who works at 343, I think in some sort of a community role, says, I literally said we were looking into it yesterday. That is not, quote, nothing. And Phoenix says, that is nothing. We've been told that 4 times now. It's not assuring. And Sam says, I mean, that's what you get. It's not liking it makes it less valid, lol. Now, I understand that Phoenix really shouldn't have been all that upset and mean about this issue, but I kind of think it's a little justified because, again, I kind of side with him. That was nothing. Just saying we're working on it, that we know that. We were looking into an ETA of a fix. How widespread is this? How many players are affected? That sort of a thing. And not giving in an update since yesterday it isn't all that good. So then, this guy called the Senate, who's now been banned from the Halo Discord, by the way, he says, is more than one person looking into it? Are they close? Most major game devs have crews working around the clock on a server outage. And, that's a little bit more reasonable of a question to ask. Is more than one person looking into it? Are they close? I think that's fine. And Sam replies with, don't tag me. It just blows my mind. Why not? The person is looking for information. The point of the Halo Discord is to communicate with other Halo fans and 343 staff members, and you're part of the community team. Like, I don't get it. And so he replies with, these are all reasonable things to ask without getting upset with us. And I don't understand. I think some messages got deleted or whatever. And Sam replies with, also, if you can't keep your comments and frustration constructive, period. I don't know what that was. So I was a little confused by the structure of that sentence. Anyway, Senate goes on and says, we legit just want basic information, but you guys won't tell us anything. That's not unreasonable. I agree. They won't tell us anything. Sam says, you got basic information. We're looking into it. That is given. I don't think you need to reply with that. I think any sort of an update would have been fine. It tells you we're aware that there's an issue and are looking into it. And so someone says, when you say the same thing for multiple days, it doesn't seem like there's any progress happening. Yes? And I agree. You can't say the same thing for 2 days in a row and people not get upset. And Sam says you aren't going to get specific information. And in my mind, I want to say, why not? Why can't you give us specific information? Why can't you just say something like, the problem is more complex than we thought, and it's going to take a little bit more time. The servers are still down. Why can't you just say that? I don't think that's unreasonable to ask. Then Postums jumps in to try and clear things up. And this makes a little bit more sense. He says, hey folks, we understand there's an issue. We're investigating and we'll let you know when we have more info. Current status, still investigating, hence we haven't issued an update. I think that's fine. I think that's really what a lot of people were asking. Sam says, which is literally what I said. Actually, Sam literally never said that. Sam said something similar to that, but not the term literally. Postum says, now this is 100% not true. Postum says, there have been tweets and we will update again when we have more information when a solution is happening. There have not been tweets plural. There was a tweet singular. This is in reference to Renzi's reply to me reaching out to him saying that it was aware of an issue that was impacting multiple titles, blah, blah, blah. That was the only acknowledgement from 343 at all. So if you weren't following me, which I don't have that many Twitter followers, and you weren't following Renzi, which only has about 1,200 followers, you weren't going to see that at all. And there is a chance you may have not seen it at all, whether you follow both of us, because that tweet was actually a reply to my tweet. So you actually had to go into that conversation to see that sort of a thing. But that doesn't classify as tweets. That is one tweet acknowledging this issue. And the reason why I'm criticizing 343 about all of this is because even people who I know are involved in the community, like Metalizer here, says, okay, I have missed them, it seems, but my bad, glad to hear it. It's not your bad, actually. I think it's 343's bad. I don't understand why at Halo Support could have just been like, hey, just copy and paste Renzi's tweet. I don't why that's an unreasonable thing to ask. Anyway, moving on from all of this nonsense, I had someone on my Twitter feed say, can someone just mention the fact that Halo Wars 2 servers are down? Not even the official Halo Twitters mention about it. The only way to find about it is a post on the Halo Waypoint forums. And this wasn't even an official post from any of the dev teams. There were some replies in Halo Waypoint threads from people acknowledging there's an issue, but there was no sticky thread on Halo Waypoint saying there's a server issue. So I quoted this tweet and I said, this is exactly what's frustrating about 343 and Halo Wars 2. A simple tweet acknowledging the problem would have gone a long way. Because again, this all comes down to the confusion. There's still a lot of players confused about this issue. Breezy Starfish jumps in and he says, "Didn't Matt do that exactly in response to your tweet?" And I actually appreciate this because it allows me to elaborate on my frustration. But what actually really upsets me about this is Postums likes that tweet because it's a defense of Renzi, right? Or a defense of 343. And if this isn't petty, I don't know what is. Like, this is just. Are we in middle school or something? I don't know. I have nothing against Postums. I just. Why? What is this? The only thing that this does is make me laugh out loud. I actually laughed out loud when I saw that notification. That means clearly you're seeing my tweets. It means clearly you saw my earlier tweet about me asking you if Halo Wars 2 is down, and you actually never replied. Because Renzi replied, not Postums. You know, and Postums isn't even mentioned anywhere in this Twitter thread at all. So either he saw it in his timeline because he follows me and or Breezy Starfish, or he went out and was like reading this thread and then he likes that. I don't know. It is so bad. It just made me laugh out loud that him liking that tweet. It's just terrible. It is absolutely terrible. As a community person, I expect all I want is communication, and we didn't get that. Anyway, I digress. I said yes and no. Not a lot of players follow Renzi. There should be some sort of acknowledgement on at Halo support, at Xbox support, some sort of account where players can find. Renzi has 1K followers. Halo has 1 million followers. A simple tweet saying, "Hey, Halo Wars 2 is down and working to get it back online" would go a long way. The player base is going to be much smaller now after the servers come back online. And I brought this up in my previous video, but I do want to say it again here, is the reason why I'm showing you this information and the reason why I'm showing you the snarkiness and the passive aggressiveness on Discord and the pettiness on Twitter is because I wish the effort went into, instead of doing all of these little things that they're doing, to put the effort on something that would reach the most players. Because reaching the most players would help the game out. When players are going to discover that Halo Wars 2 isn't, they're not finding any games, they're probably the first thing they're going to do is look on Twitter or Facebook or the Halo Discord and see if the game's down. And when there's no official words saying that there's not, they're going to think that the game is dead and they're going to leave and they could possibly never come back. And so what that does is that hurts everyone else. It hurts the rest of the Halo Wars community. And I don't like that. I want this game to have a fun community of people who enjoy playing the game, people who can find a match. I just love Halo Wars, and all I want is what's best for the game. And them denying the existence of this issue or refusing to say anything about this issue is hurting the game. And I could be wrong about my opinion. Maybe 343 loves Halo Wars 2 and they want what's best for it, and I'm sure in some capacity that they do, but based on the information that I'm showing you, you can draw your own judgment of whether or not that's true. And personally, I don't think that it's true. I think 343 doesn't care about Halo Wars 2, and I don't think they've cared about it for a long time. They won't say that ever. Of course they won't. But I think the results and the effort that they put into Halo Wars 2 time and time again have shown they won't fix any bugs. It takes forever to get a balance update. We have to beg them for it. The servers go down for 2 or 3 days. They don't even acknowledge the problem. It's things like this over time that really make me think, they probably don't care about Halo Wars 2, and it's, this game that they have to support because someone's telling them to. That's just my assumption. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's just the way that I interpret what is happening over there towards Halo Wars 2, and I wish it wasn't that way. After all of this had happened, nothing really happened for 2 days between January 6th and January 7th. So all of January 6th, and most of January 7th, we didn't hear anything. And then finally, out of the blue, the official Halo support account said, "Local units, the issue that was impacting Halo Wars 2 matchmaking has been resolved. If you spot any remaining issues with our online services, please report them at Halo Support. The battlefield awaits." Now, what I love is they finally acknowledge the resolution of this issue, but they still never acknowledge the problem. But, I'm glad that they at least did this, but it was too little, too late in my opinion. And actually, by this point, the servers have been back on for hours. So this tweet was a little late, but I'm glad it was there nonetheless. And people, even other Halo creators out there, were replying to this and said a PSA would have been appreciated from Late Night Halo. The official accounts were quiet about this, and Duststorm said this impacted our scheduled achievement stream. And there was another tweet that said, "The love the game, but next time a little heads up. We're starting to think the servers were shut down." I mean, people were just confused the entire time, and 343 didn't make this any easier. They actually made it worse this entire way. And, I don't get the pettiness on the Discord and the pettiness with liking the tweets and everything. I don't really understand it. I also don't understand the blind praise for 343. I don't think any company is perfect, so I am fine criticizing a company who make mistakes and praising them when they do things right. I've been praising 343 for the Yappening. I thought that was fantastic. I praised them for the Master Chief Collection. I thought that was a fantastic way to resurrect that game. And I think Infinite's going to be fantastic. I think they're really onto something, but they're not perfect. And this is an example where, in a time where they keep saying that they want to improve player communication with players, this is an example of that not happening. Again, this may seem a little out of proportion for you, but as someone who loves Halo Wars 2 so much, and all I want is people to enjoy the game and have fun, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I want to make this community and game as welcoming as possible. This just wasn't it, Chief, and I want them to do better. So again, there's nothing personal with anyone who works at 343. I have nothing against Postums or Sam or anyone else, but I don't get the passive aggressiveness. I don't get the pettiness. But life goes on. Halo Wars 2 is fixed, and we can get back to enjoying the game.